and welcome to LIS, Learn Italian Songs, Learn Italian with Songs. Io sono Pietro, and this is where we take famous Italian songs and we translate the lyrics almost word by word, and this is why sometimes they sound awkward. Now, before I tell you what song we are going to sing and translate together today, let me show you a snippet from a video that I shot quite some time ago and that probably and unfortunately you will never be able to see. Now, on March 19th, 2020, when Italy was severely hit by the effects of the coronavirus pandemic, all the radio stations of the nation at 11 a.m. transmitted the same 4 songs, so that all the people in the country could feel together and unified by these tunes that represent Italy and its soul from north to south, from the villages up in the Alps to southernmost little isles of Sicily. Now, my question for you is, can you guess what 4 songs were played on the radio on that day? You can give me your answers in the description below. One of these songs is actually featured in the video of this channel, and you can check it out here or here. Now, as for the other 3 songs, 2 of these songs I was naive enough to shoot them without thinking about obtaining a sync license beforehand. And so now I'm not able to share them with the general public. But if you write me a private email at the email address, which I will leave in the description below, I can send you the invitation so you can view a private copy of those specific lessons. As for the 4th song, I did not shoot a video on that, and I'm trying to make up for it now with one of the only 2 songs of which I can obtain a sync license by the same singer. And yes, we are talking about Lucio Battisti, one of the most loved songwriters in the history of the Italian song. Now, actually, when we talk about his very, very famous songs, the songs of his prime, so to say, we are referring to songs that he wrote the music for, but the lyrics were written by another person. And let me introduce probably the most famous partnership in the history of the Italian song, which is the one between Battisti and Mogol. Now, you can look them both up on the internet. Just know that Lucio Battisti is a real name, whereas Mogol is the stage name for... And they wrote together some hugely famous songs that are now part of the heritage of the Italian culture. Their great success took place in the 1960s, and you can clearly hear the influences from American and British music in those songs. But I must admit that there's definitely a very pronounced Italian vibe to those songs. I remember being a teenager and listening to an old vinyl record that my mother had of the greatest hits of Lucio Battisti with headphones at night, and it kind of blew my mind. It was like listening to an American or a British rock band with the comparable energy, bluesy feel, and all the right sounds, and yet those songs were so Italian at the same time. The song that we're going to sing and translate together is called Dolce di Giorno, and it is basically a song about a couple where the female counterpart is not showing an adequate level of passion as the male side of the couple would expect, and so he decides to dump her. I oversimplified the story, but basically it's like that. Lyrics are quite short, which is a good thing for this channel, and I hope you enjoy my rendition of this song, which as usual is quite different from the original. It is an arrangement where I just played guitar and there's some electric drums, but I decided to adhere to a self-imposed policy of austerity, and I decided to save on the 8th notes instead of 12 8th notes. Here we have 11 8th notes bars, so if the song sounds odd to you, it is because it has an odd rhythm. That's it for the introduction. More on Lucio Battisti and Mogol during the translation of the song. I'll see you after the song.
Dolce di giorno, fredda di sera, sì, tu ogni volta cambi bandiera, ma ho già deciso che questa è l'ultima volta che esco con te. Tu sei come una torta di panna montata, tutta contenta di non essere stata mangiata, ma ho già deciso che questa è l'ultima volta che esco con te. Io ti ho dato il mio cuore, cosa mi hai dato tu? Mi hai fatto solo promesse e niente di più. Quando c'è il sole tu parli d'amore, e poi quando è sera sei una statua di cera, ma ho già deciso che questa è l'ultima volta che esco con te. Ho già deciso che questa è l'ultima volta che esco con te. L'ultima volta che esco con te.
And on to our translation, which is going to be quite short. Before we start, the real name of Mogol, which is the person who wrote the words for this song and many other great hits of Battisti and Mogol, is Giulio Rapetti. That's his real name. In this song, various parts of the day are named, so I will say a few words before we start to translate. Now, in Italian, morning is mattina or mattino. We have both the feminine and the masculine version of the morning. Mattina is feminine, mattino with the O in the end is masculine. And as far as I know, and as far as my use of the language is concerned, I don't make a very big distinction between the two. I don't know what is the distinction between the two. Then after the morning, we have the mezzogiorno, which is midday. Mezzo is half or mid, giorno is day. Sometimes midday, mezzogiorno, was called meriggio, but this is a word that is not used anymore, and it doesn't actually denote the midday like 12 noon, but the part of the day in which the sun is highest in the sky. The word meriggio will take us to the next part of the day, which is pomeriggio, and it's sort of a merger between post, which is after, and meriggio, which is midday, so after midday, which is the PM that we all know from the English language, which actually comes from the Latin. After the pomeriggio, we have the evening, which is sera in Italian, and there is no definite boundary between pomeriggio and sera, as there is no actually definite boundary in common speech between sera, which is the evening, and night, which in Italian is notte. So, to sum it all up, we have mattino or mattina, the morning, mezzogiorno, which is noon or midday, pomeriggio, afternoon, sera, the evening, and notte, the night. The first line of the song is also the title, and it is Dolce di Giorno, and it actually means sweet during the day. When we have to refer to parts of the day, we use either preposition di or al. So in the morning we would say di mattina or al mattino, in the afternoon di pomeriggio, in the evening di sera, and at night we would say la notte or di notte. Dolce di giorno is sweet during the day. Fredda di sera. Fredda di sera literally means cold in the evening or cold at night. We use evening and night sometimes interchangeably. Fredda, which is an adjective, tells us that the singer is referring to a female person. Fredda, otherwise it would have been freddo. Sì, tu ogni volta, third line. Sì, yes, tu, you, ogni volta, every time. Cambi bandiera. You change, cambi. Bandiera is the flag. So you change your flag, you change your mind, you change your way of behaving. And then there's the chorus, which is ho già deciso, I have, ho. Già is already, and deciso is decided. Che questa è, that this is, l'ultima volta che esco con te. L'ultima volta, the last time. Ultima, last. Volta is time. Che esco con te, literally that I go out or exit with you. I've decided that this is the last time I'm going out with you. Second verb. Tu sei come una torta. You are like a cake. Di panna montata. Of whipped cream. So you are like a whipped cream cake. Panna in Italian is cream, and panna montata is whipped cream. Whereas the word crema, which is similar to the word cream, indicates more of a custard, a preparation which has a creamy texture to it, and it is usually used while making cakes or pastries. Crema. Tu sei come una torta di panna montata. Tutta contenta literally means all happy, so very happy. Di non essere stata mangiata. This is a passive form. You are happy because you have not been eaten. Literally, you are all very happy not to have been eaten. And then it proceeds, ho già deciso che questa è l'ultima volta che esco con te, the chorus as we have seen before. Then there's the bridge, which says, io ti ho dato al mio cuore, I gave you my heart, even though if we want to be more literal, ti ho dato means ti to you, ho have, dato given. So to you I have given my heart. Che cosa mi hai dato tu? What? Che cosa is what thing? Mi hai dato tu? Did you give me? Have you given to me? Mi hai fatto solo promesse. You made me just promises. E niente di più, and nothing more. When we have to say more, we say di più. Third and last verse, quando c'è il sole, literally when there is the sun, so when it's sunny, tu parli d'amore, you speak of love. Poi quando è sera, then when it's evening, so when night falls or when evening comes, but literally when it's evening, sei una statua di cera. You are a wax statue. And literally you are a statue of wax. And then it repeats, ho già deciso che questa è l'ultima volta che esco con te. I have already decided that this is the last time I go out, present simple, io esco con te, with you. And this ends this very short song. And yes, if you're wondering, the white thing that I have here on my lower lip is a herpes. In Italian, we call it herpes, because in Italian, whenever we see a letter H, we tend not to pronounce it. For example, we spell the word hotel just like in English, H-O-T-E-L, but we say it hotel without the H. And that's it for today. If you like this kind of videos, why not put a like, pollice su, mi piace. If you're not subscribed already, why not subscribe right now? If you're feeling particularly generous, you can buy me an espresso using the platform Coffee, and I'll leave a link in the description below. And I'll see you on the next lesson of LIS, Learn Italian Songs, Learn Italian with Songs. Ciao! Link in the description below. In the description below.